BAKKT is back again. This time talking about moonshots and spending millions of dollars. Well, we're covering exactly just what they are doing at the moment. And let's start off with the 2019 budget for BAKKT. The Intercontinental Exchange, this is of course the guys behind BAKKT, have said that they're planning on spending around $20 to $25 million on BAKKT in 2019. And that sounds like a lot of money, because it is kind of a lot of money. But you do have to remember that they raised $182 million at the end of 2018 from some of the biggest venture capital firms and some of the biggest corporations who are interested and who believe in the mission that BAKKT is trying to achieve. But for us regular plebs, $20 million sounds like a lot of money, because it sure is a lot of money to almost everyone, except for people like, the CEO of ICE. They probably look at this as a drop in the bucket. And actually, if you look at ICE's 2019 expenditures, around $1 billion, $20 to $25 million doesn't sound like that much, but you have to keep in mind they do have a big business that is already running with loads of lawyers and accountants and different financial products and different things to upkeep. So it's a substantial enough investment without a doubt. And I think we need to recognize it for what it is, that indeed, ICE is still incredibly serious about bringing this to life, about making BAKKT happen. The dream has not gone away. Far from it. In fact, they're working on a hiring spree right now, going around gobbling up some of the best talent in the space, getting crypto people, getting directors, getting managers. All these different things are coming together for BAKKT, so they're certainly not down and out, even though we have seen BAKKT's futures contracts delayed and delayed. In fact, we've had 2 delays already. We can probably expect more delays in the future. This is partially because of the CFTC. It was shut down during the US government shutdown, and they're the ones who are going to decide when the BAKKT futures contracts are allowed to happen. If they're not working, can't happen. Of course, they're back to work now, but we might see another government shutdown coming in the near future, so time will tell when exactly BAKKT's futures do get launched, but they are coming. Just a matter of when, not a question of if. And it's also worth pointing out and remembering that BAKKT is so much more than just futures contracts. They're not throwing all this money at BAKKT just so they can launch some futures contracts. That is not the intention here at all. And even though we've talked about the futures contracts a lot, you have to remember BAKKT is about buying, selling, storing, and spending digital assets. So a lot of things are going to go on here. Remember when we first talked about BAKKT, we were all excited because they're looking at payment integrations with companies like Starbucks, for example. Payment processing, of course. That's exciting. That's cool. And we see the interest from the giant corporations that are getting into it. They know what's up. They know the future of technology. They can at least take a bet that something like BAKKT could be a very important piece of that future infrastructure. They're, of course, also looking at basically regulated trading, regulated clearinghouse, and a regulated warehousing, or custody, as you will, of cryptocurrencies. All of these things are incredibly important, especially for all the institutional investors and hedge funds and the more conservative family offices. Things like custody will be very, very important, even for regular investors. Not that BAKKT is aiming at regular investors, but that custody equation will be very important for many people in the crypto world moving forward. And you have to remember, too, that there are literally some organizations who are prohibited from investing in things like Bitcoin via their own charters or local regulations. That's why they need to have these paper products like a Bitcoin future or a Bitcoin ETF to be able to invest in it, or they need to have some kind of safe custody, which is what BAKKT is setting up. Now, the CEO of ICE, Jeff Sprecher, he came out and said that the investment in BAKKT is their moonshot bet. They say it's not a typical ICE product, it's not what they normally do, but that they believe in it, and they see the potential. And just calling it their moonshot bet, literally they're dumping millions and millions and millions of dollars, not to mention a lot of time and resources into making this happen. Their likelihood of success is extremely high, and the likelihood of this paying off in mind-boggling dividends for the Intercontinental Exchange, very, very real. He also said, later this year, guys, it's coming, but later this year. Delays, delays, delays. Again, it's the mantra of the crypto industry right now. Got something exciting and we're gonna delay it. Of course, in this situation of BAKKT, not all their fault by any means. We have the external circumstances which are making it hard to have that full regulation, which is exactly what they have to do and what they're going to do. And without the regulators sitting in their offices working, or at least even when they weren't working, makes it a lot harder to make these visions become real. Now, Wall Street, it's a real mixed bag. And ICE is the representation, the epitome, inside player, inside baseball, all that stuff you want to say about them. ICE is right there. ICE basically owns the baseball field where the insider baseball is played. But they're the ones launching this, so Wall Street is coming to the party. And I've said it before, but I'll keep saying it because I think it's really worth noting and understanding that we don't need Wall Street at the crypto party, but they're coming regardless of whether we want them there or not. Futures contracts, they're already happening. We're going to have more of them. Bitcoin ETFs, different traded paper products, they're going to happen. It's inevitable. It's what they want. They love this stuff. They see the opportunity. And BAKKT will be huge. I would be blown away if this doesn't succeed. Because of the money backing it, because of the serious professionals backing it, because of their insider connections, the trust factor of the Intercontinental Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange are a massive contributor to why BAKKT is likely to be incredibly successful. The name recognition, massive. That's why companies like JP Morgan, unofficially anyway, according to unconfirmed reports, are looking at using BAKKT for their crypto trading. Unsurprising, because you have custody, you have name recognition, you have that trust factor, you have all these things together with the Intercontinental Exchange. And it's really, really worth noting too that as exciting as what BAKKT is doing, there's a lot of other big players getting in too. We have, of course, Fidelity. It's worth repeating that because that's also going to be a big player when it comes down to it. All of this is coming together around the same time. I feel like 2019 is going to be a very, very exciting year for cryptocurrencies in terms of the fundamental things that are happening in the background. This move from BAKKT, it's so important and it's so big. At the same time, Wall Street, Bitcoin Rat, what do you think about these guys? He's always withholding knowledge from me, this guy. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about BAKKT. Do you think we're going to see it in 2019? Do you believe Sprecher when he says that, yeah, it's coming later this year? Do you think the Bitcoin futures contracts are going to happen sometime this year? Do you even want any of this to happen? Or can you look at this and say, well, it's going to happen whether I want it to or not, and when it does happen, it's likely to have very positive price impact on the crypto markets overall? Let me know what you think about it down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, you're super awesome. Keep it classy. Keep rocking out there, guys. You guys, super awesome, without a doubt. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up on it. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. You can always hit the notification bell to stay up to date when I put out a new video. Long live the blockchain. And peace out till next time.